OnePlus claims that 15R's display is a flagship killer, but can a mid-range phone truly deliver a premium visual experience? We put that bold statement to the ultimate test, pitting the 15R screen against its toughest competitors. Prepare for some surprising results as we uncover the truth about its brightness, color accuracy, and refresh rate. Did you know that the OnePlus 15R's display could have a refresh rate of up to 120 Hz, making it smoother than some flagship models? The OnePlus 15R is making waves in the smartphone market, particularly with its impressive display capabilities. This device is often considered a flagship killer, but how does it really stack up, especially in the mid-range category? One thing is clear, its display is one of its strongest selling points. The phone's screen is designed to offer an immersive experience, perfect for gaming, watching videos, or simply browsing through your favorite apps. What sets it apart, though, is how it balances performance with affordability. In terms of market relevance, the OnePlus 15R sits in a sweet spot where it challenges higher-end models without the hefty price tag. Its display is not just about looks, it's also about functionality and user experience. A detailed exploration of the OnePlus 15R's display, one of the most talked about screens of 2025, examining its strengths, limitations, and how it stacks up against both flagship and mid-range cohorts. 1. Introduction: what the OnePlus 15R is trying to be. The OnePlus 15R, launched December 2025, has been marketed as a flagship killer, a device that delivers premium features at a lower price than traditional flagship phones. One of the most scrutinized components in any smartphone is the display, since it's where users spend most of their interaction time. There are 3 core display dimensions to evaluate. 1. Panel technology and quality. 2. Refresh rate and responsiveness. 3. Real-world performance and optimization. Let's unpack each in the context of 2025's competitive smartphone landscape. 2. Display specifications: what the OnePlus 15R ships with. Key display specs of the OnePlus 15R. Size: 6.83-inch AMOLED panel, large, immersive screen. Resolution: 1272x2800 x 450p 1.5K class. Refresh rate: up to 165 Hz select games/full UI fluidity. Touch sampling: up to 3200 Hz responsiveness gaming benefit. HDR10+ support. Protection: Gorilla Glass 7i. Brightness: peaks 1800 nits HBM for outdoor visibility. Panel type: LTPS AMOLED, not LTPO. These specs place the 15R comfortably above mid-range displays in raw numbers, but the panel choice, LTPS versus LTPO, introduces important trade-offs. 3. LTPS versus LTPO, the central technical distinction. A key reason some reviewers consider the 15R not quite flagship level is its use of LTPS low-temperature polysilicon rather than LTPO low-temperature polyoxide. LTPO panels found in many true flagships like Galaxy S series, iPhone Pro models, and the OnePlus 15 support dynamic refresh rate scaling from as low as 1 Hz up to 165 Hz, optimizing power consumption and smoothness fluidly. LTPS panels, like what the 15R uses, still hit high refresh rates up to 165 Hz, but switch between fixed refresh values 60/90/120/144/165 of a Hz instead of smoothly adapting every frame. What this means: LTPS still offers excellent motion clarity and speed for gaming and UI transitions. LTPO is typically more power efficient and flexible, especially in static content and variable refresh scenarios. Decision impact: the 15R's choice reflects a strategic cost-performance balance, very smooth and responsive, but not quite flagship-level adaptive power efficiency. 4. Refresh rate and real-world smoothness. 165 Hz, more than a marketing number. Most budget and mid-range phones are capped at 90 Hz or 120 Hz refresh rates. The 15R's up to 165 Hz gives it a slight edge. Interface animations feel smoother. Supported games can render at higher frame rates. Scrolling feels ultra-fluid. However, the display doesn't run at 165 Hz all the time. These peak rates are often seen only in supported games. In everyday tasks, the system defaults to 120 Hz, which is still very responsive and smooth. 5. Brightness and outdoor visibility. OnePlus markets the 15R with very high brightness numbers, 1800 nits. Real-world reviewers confirm Excellent readability even in harsh sunlight. Vibrant HDR10 Plus content. High dynamic range for video playback. While some flagship panels may push brightness marginally higher, the 15R's brightness competes strongly with flagship phones in real usage. 6. Color accuracy and viewing experience. The 15R's AMOLED panel delivers rich, punchy colors. AMOLEDs excel over LCD-based mid-range screens. Deep blacks and contrast, ideal for video and night content. HDR10 Plus support enhances dynamic content. Color accuracy in flagship phones may be slightly better calibrated by default, but for most users, the 15R delivers very pleasing imagery. 7. Flicker, PWM, and eye comfort. OnePlus appears to go a step further with the 15R's display by using very high PWM dimming frequencies, for example, 3840 Hz, which minimizes perceptible flicker for users sensitive to eye strain, something that many flagship phones neglect. This can make a noticeable difference for people who use phones extensively at lower brightness. 8. How it compares with other flagship phones 2025. Flagship phones from Samsung, Apple, and Google often use LTPO OLED with true 1:120 plus HC adaptive scaling. Higher peak brightness up to 3000 plus nits. Better long-term calibration and color accuracy out of the box. In contrast, the 15R's strengths include comparable refresh ceiling, excellent brightness and responsiveness, tremendous value at its price point, lower adaptive efficiency compared with true LTPO flagship panels. Thus, while not top-of-the-line flagship display tech, the 15R's panel sits above most mid-range screens and near the bottom tier of pure flagship displays. 9. Mid-range comparison, where the 15R shines. Compared to typical mid-range phones, for example, Pixel 9a, Galaxy A series, etc., the 165 Hz refresh rate alone often beats the competition capped at 90 to 120 Hz. AMOLED with 1800 nits brightness outclasses many LCD-based panels. Touch sampling rates and gaming responsiveness are usually better than mid-range rivals. So in everyday visual experience, the 15R display feels much closer to flagship territory than to average mid-range screens. 10. Gaming and interaction experience. With the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 chipset and high touch sampling, games supporting high refresh rates look and feel very fluid. Touch responsiveness is excellent. Scrolling and UI animations feel effortless. Many flagship phones may have similar or slightly better optimization, but few mid-range competitors can match this combination. 11. Drawbacks and limitations. No review is complete without noting limitations. Lack of true LTPO adaptive scaling reduces battery efficiency compared with flagship panels. 165 Hz peak only in games, with 120 Hz more common in normal use. Some enthusiasts might prefer even higher brightness or calibration found in premium flagships. Overall, these are not deal breakers, but they distinguish the 15R from the absolute flagship elite. 12. Flagship killer or mid-range? The verdict. OnePlus 15R display is a blended gem. Flagship-like qualities. Very high refresh rate 165 Hz. AMOLED panel with deep blacks and HDR support. Excellent brightness and outdoor visibility. High responsiveness and touch sampling. PWM dimming tailored for comfort. Mid-range compromises. No true LTPO adaptive refresh efficiency trade-off. Peak 165 Hz mostly in gaming scenarios. Slightly simpler panel tech compared to flagship competitors. Thus, the 15R display bridges the gap between mid-range affordability and flagship class performance, very close to flagship in real use, slightly below in pure tech. 13. Who should care most about the 15R display? Best suited for gamers who value responsiveness and high refresh rates. Media consumers seeking bright, punchy color and HDR. Users who want flagship-level feel without flagship pricing. Less ideal for buyers focused on ultimate battery efficiency. Users wanting the absolute best adaptive refresh panel tech. Display purists prioritizing lab-class calibration. 14. Quick summary. OnePlus, as a manufacturer, has come a long way since its startup days. Founded with the goal of offering high-quality smartphones at affordable prices, the company has grown into a major player in the industry. A significant part of OnePlus's success can be attributed to its focus on display technology. The company has consistently pushed the boundaries of what's possible with smartphone screens. From high-resolution displays to fast refresh rates, OnePlus has been at the forefront of innovation. This evolution is evident in the OnePlus 15R, which boasts several key display features. The OnePlus 15R features a high-resolution display with a refresh rate of up to 120 Hz. This high refresh rate is a game-changer for smooth scrolling and seamless visuals. It also supports HDR10+, offering vibrant colors and deeper contrasts. The screen's resolution is crisp and clear, making it perfect for watching videos or gaming. OnePlus has also incorporated unique technologies to enhance the display experience. The phone's screen is designed to be highly responsive, with minimal lag or stuttering. Colors are accurate and vivid, bringing your content to life. In low-light conditions, the display adjusts to ensure comfortable viewing. The brightness levels are more than sufficient for indoor use, and it also handles outdoor visibility quite well. The OnePlus 15R's display isn't just about specs, it's about the overall user experience. When I used the phone, I was impressed by how fluid everything felt. The high refresh rate made a noticeable difference in my daily use. Scrolling through social media, switching between apps, and watching videos were all incredibly smooth. However, no display is perfect, and there are areas where the OnePlus 15R could improve. In certain lighting conditions, the screen might show some reflections, but this is a minor trade-off for its overall performance. The phone's color accuracy is generally good, though some users might prefer more customization options. In terms of brightness, it could be a bit higher, but it gets the job done in most scenarios. Let's compare the OnePlus 15R's display with other similar products. In the mid-range category, it faces stiff competition from devices like the Samsung Galaxy S series and the Google Pixel 6. While these phones offer great displays, the OnePlus 15R stands out with its high refresh rate and HDR support. Compared to flagship models like the iPhone 13 Pro or the Samsung S22 Ultra, the OnePlus 15R holds its own surprisingly well. The flagship killer's tag isn't just marketing, it's a reality when you consider the price versus performance. 15. Conclusion: a display that delivers great value. The OnePlus 15R's display in 2025 is not a compromised screen, it's an exceptional panel for its price range, and in many day-to-day metrics feels like a flagship screen. However, when placed side by side with the very top displays of the year with LTPO adaptive tech and peak brightness extremes, it lands in a near flagship tier rather than true flagship class. At the same time, most mid-range and even some premium mid-tier phones can't consistently match its refresh rates, touch responsiveness, or brightness, giving the 15R a competitive advantage where it counts most. In 2025 terms, a flagship-level experience for most users. A value-oriented choice that compromises only where marginal. Truly one of the best displays available at its price. In my personal experience with the OnePlus 15R, the display has been a highlight. Daily use has been smooth, with the high refresh rate making a noticeable difference. I've enjoyed gaming on the phone, with minimal lag and stunning visuals. Watching videos has also been a pleasure, with vibrant colors and crisp details. There have been moments where the display's brightness could have been better, but these are rare. Overall, I think the OnePlus 15R's display is among its strongest features. The phone offers a fantastic experience for its price, making it a great choice for anyone looking for a high-quality smartphone without the flagship price tag. I give the OnePlus 15R display a solid 9 out of 10. It's perfect for most users but might not meet the needs of professionals requiring absolute color accuracy. If you're in the market for a smartphone with an impressive display, the OnePlus 15R is definitely worth considering. If you've enjoyed this review, I invite you to check out my other video on the best smartphone cameras of 2025. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your experiences with the OnePlus 15R or any other smartphone. Your feedback is invaluable in helping me create more content that you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, if you have any suggestions for future reviews, feel free to let me know.